I did watch this extremely, oh my God, like this story, bro, about this guy called the Breakdancing Dad. If you guys have not seen the Breakdancing Dad story, I highly recommend it. It is insane, especially if you're a young man. I think young men need to, but also women too, because women literally only ever see one side of divorce. And so the Breakdancing Dad is really a story about divorce.
Is it the white dude?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I heard about this.
Right. So what happened was, and I'm just going to do cliff notes. His daughter, Breakdancing Dad's daughter, goes on TikTok. I don't know if she's an influencer or what, but she goes on TikTok to basically make light of her relationship with her dad. She says that it's a traumatic relationship. He wasn't there for her, said all these negative things about him. And then the video blew up.
Yeah.
So then the dad, who has been quiet throughout this entire process, I mean, we're talking over a decade, if I'm not mistaken, of his wife going on book tours and just talking bad about him after everything she put him through, he just didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. But when his daughter did it and it went viral, getting tens of millions of views, he reacted to the video. And I haven't seen that reaction yet, but I watched him tell his story. So what happened was he met this woman. They fell in love. He had an advertising business. The business started doing well. We're probably talking $1 million plus a year. Like they're doing well. The wife is really trying to get on that stay-at-home wife tip, but she wants to live in a lavish place, have a nice mansion, like all of those things. So she convinces him to upgrade their house to a mansion with all the most wealthiest people. That was a problem for him because he's kind of a penny pincher. He likes to be responsible with his money, and he didn't understand why they needed more rooms than they could ever use. Like he didn't understand why they needed all the space. So that's when their relationship really started to fracture. They tried to mend the relationship by having more children, which, as we all know, is an absolute mistake. But once again, I think that there was a level of love there to begin the relationship, but then they had very strong, maybe Christian values where they didn't believe in divorce. So he then starts to feel like a prisoner to this mansion and the payments and the lifestyle. His wife wanted to get plastic surgery, breast implants, the whole nine. He just was like, bro, she probably was always this person, but he just didn't vet her well. Once again, I think love blinded him. And so they started to grow more and more apart. Fast forward, they decide to get divorced. Let her tell it, he left them. But I think it was probably more mutual. They probably were both feeling like this isn't gonna work. They probably were both unhappy. This dude, now this is where you start to see the character of this man, in my opinion. He's like, all right, boom. The children are used to a certain lifestyle. They're going to certain schools. I'm going to give this woman, he has a very successful advertising business at this time. I'm going to give this woman 97% of my assets. In order to maintain the children's lifestyle, he agreed to pay $12,000 of child support every month, and he agreed to pay it until they were 22. So this just tells you the character of this man. He's absolute simp. Like this is the absolute worst thing you could ever do, because as a man, you're agreeing to pay all this child support and stuff. How are you going to sustain yourself when you've given yourself so little to work with? So she got $1.8 million. He got $76,000. All right. She got the house. She sold the house. You know what I mean? Of course. Boom. In addition to that, he agreed to allow her to move back to Chicago, where she was from, to help support the children. So she downgrades from that house. She's not about to maintain
with all that much. She won't maintain it, but she wanted it.
She wanted it, but she can't maintain it. So she goes back home. Now, he's paying her the $12,000 a month, but he has to, like, it's basically a lump sum of money he has to come up with, this 1.8. Well, it gets down to their final, with the judge, and the judge is like, yo, you still owe $100K. So he had paid 1.7, he owed 100,000. The judge is like, yo, you still owe this 100K. How you gonna get Miss Hart this 100K? He's like, well, what happened was the wife thought he was hiding more money. So she subpoenaed all his clients to have them come to court and, whatever. And the clients was like, bro, we're not dealing with this. So they ghosted him. So she destroyed his business. So he couldn't pay her because she destroyed his business.
Wow.
So now he's trying to create a new business to continue to pay her and to give her the extra money. And he's telling the judge, like, I have to rebuild. She destroyed my business. I can't pay her the money because I don't have the clients. But at the time, because of everything was happening so quickly, it looked as if he had it based on his finances. It looked like the money was coming in. So the judge holds him in contempt of court because she just did not accept this excuse that he couldn't pay the extra $100K, even though she had already got $1.7 million. Held him in contempt of court and put him in jail for a year.
Bro, what the
So now he's trying to rebuild his business. He started an online training for like advertising. This is back when the internet pretty much first started. He was doing well. I mean, he said he was bringing in $10,000 a month. He was 5,000 was going to Google ads. The other 5, he was, whatever. And so he goes to jail. And so now the internet business gets stabbed in the heart because he's not there. He's just building it. Of course, he's telling the story in the prison. Everybody just thinks his story is so incredible. Like, bro, this is crazy. How could you let her do this? Da, 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 da. You know how niggas are in jail. They like everybody likes a good story.
Yeah.
So, because Steve told me. I know, right?
Especially in jail. All we do is tell stories.
All you do is tell stories. So the warden comes down. The warden's asking him, bro, how are you here? What's going on? He's like, boom. So then the warden's like, all right, you're supposed to be in this particular area of the jail or whatever, but I'm going to put you on work release. So, but he said, but the problem is we only pay $7 an hour. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to pay you because he owed $140,000 because the judge awarded his wife the $100K plus interest and fees for her lawyer.
Bro.
Like, completely railroaded this guy. Like, completely railroaded him. By the way, the judge looks like a feminist, had the short haircut.
It was a woman. Oh.
Yeah. And also, as he's telling his story to the inmates, they're all like, oh, you got that, judge? That explains it. She just does. That's what she does.
Yeah.
So they're like, bro, what you got to do is you got to get a letter to the judge basically outlining how you're going to repay, because everybody knows you're in here for a year. You're not going to be able to pay anything. So she ain't going to get nothing. So he gets put on work release, but he's still at the jail. And then they give him this floppy pen. He's able to write this letter, but no one will take it. None of the guards. No one will take the letter to the judge. So he calls his girlfriend at the time, gets his girlfriend to get his lawyers to come in because his lawyers had dropped him because he was spending all the money on the woman. Mm-hmm. He didn't have money to pay his own lawyers. So he got one of the junior lawyers to get the letter to the judge. And then, 4 or 5 days go by. He don't hear nothing back. He just figured he's toast. Finally hears back from the judge in the way of the guards saying, hey, get your stuff, get out of here. You're out of here, right? So now he goes back to work and he starts building his business. It's been 8 days now that he's basically gone ghost. So people are like, we want refunds, you're not going to promise. He's able to salvage his internet business and start building it. His new girlfriend at the time, really helped facilitate that. She was good with technology, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward, his goal was to get back to Illinois where he could be close to his children. The man loves his family. Mm-hmm. Well, he goes to visit the children. The wife is like, yo, don't come here. I'm going to make your life a living hell if you come here. So it's not enough to milk the man for all the money. Also, now he's not allowed to have a relationship with his children. He's obviously like, F that, you know what I'm saying? So he goes there and he's staying at a hotel or something like that at the time, just trying to get himself settled in, blah, blah, blah. Takes the children back to the house, has an altercation with the wife. The wife is like, you see this iPod? Your daughter's been recording you talking ish about me on the iPod. I'm going to use this against you, right? He snatches the iPod. She grabs him. There's a little tussle, we'll say. She jumps into the car trying to get the iPod from him. He pushes her out the car, slams the door, drives off, throws the iPod out, breaks the iPod. Now there's a warrant out for his arrest. She files a domestic violence charge against him. There's a warrant out for his arrest. He flees to Tennessee with his girlfriend at the time. I don't know if they were married yet, but they eventually get married. And they're staying at her brother's house in the basement, trying to recoup. So while they're there, he's building his internet business. He's trying to get the resources to go back and do what he got to do because he knows he's about to get smacked. In the meantime, he's not paying child support. He's not doing whatever. They finally get enough means that they feel comfortable to actually go back and fight this woman. They put all their stuff in the U-Haul. Boom, they're on the way back to Illinois. They get stopped by the cops in Tennessee or somewhere. Cop runs his plates. Sir, do you know you have a warrant out for your arrest? It's like, this is literally a movie. I'm like, bro, literally, reminds me of The Pursuit of Happiness, but like the white man version in like a whole different scenario, but like The Pursuit of Happiness. So they're worried because they're like, yo, if he takes me in, like this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, you're gonna serve the rest of your time, and you're gonna get charged with everything else, and because you're already there, you're probably gonna eat those charges too.
You're gonna eat them, and then you because so he tells the cop, he's like, look, we got the U-Haul, we're on our way to Chicago now to clear this warrant up. I just got myself together. I'm going there to handle it now. Fortunately, the cop rocks with him, lets him go. Boom. So then they go. They get a good judge this time, is a guy. And, they're basically arguing, look, he skipped out. He was in hideout. He ain't pay this. He ain't pay that. The judge is like, well, it's paid now. He's here now. What do you want me to do about it? So the woman's upset because she's not beating him up enough. So she moves the court case downtown, like to a different judge. He said this judge wasn't as good as the other judge. They kind of drew it out, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it ends up being whatever it was. So he basically outlines this story and, talks about his relationship with the children and pictures and all this other stuff just to prove like what my daughter is. It's a narrative that my ex-wife has fed my daughter, because when they broke up and all this was happening, that girl was 5. Mm-hmm. And also he never told her what was going on, which I think was a mistake. But once again, his personality, it makes sense why he wouldn't.
He wanted to protect her.
Mm-hmm. Right? But it's like, but you ruined your relationship. Because in her mind, you're a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, daddy left us. And of course, the mom is saying, absolutely.
Absolutely. I raised you on
They downgraded. So it's not even like, yeah, daddy is still paying for this house. We lost the house. Yep. We lost this. Yep. Who knows? I'm sure she went and got her plastic surgery or whatever. She got her man, all this stuff.
Got a new man. Looks just like her ex, in my opinion.
And it's not just the dude leaving. It's what she thought the dude left for. Which is, I'm sure you're about to get into. Cause,
go ahead.
What he's called the breakdancing dad. Mm-hmm. And she thought that he left her to go breakdance.
To pursue a career in breakdancing.
To pursue a career in breakdancing.
That's what the daughter thought?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, because he did breakdancing for like, just like a hobby. Something that he did or whatever. And then the response to the TikTok video, he didn't go to all that detail, but he was just saying like, no, I didn't leave my family to go breakdancing and stuff. But the way the daughter responded was kind of like a comical thing.
How old is she now?
She got to be less than 21.
Oh, she's still young.
Yeah, still fairly young, but the way the dad responded, he's a very jovial guy because he didn't take any malice to it. Yeah. Like he responded in a very, like, you can tell he has a good energy, mm-hmm. type of vibe. Mm-hmm. Like he responded really well to it. And like with him responding that and talking to the girl in response to that video, his video went viral.
Right.
And people were talking about like, oh man, this dude is like a really good guy. And now it kind of like made the girl
look bad,
look like a villain, mm-hmm. So I was just like, yo, that's
it's hard because she's just talking about her perspective, and it's his fault for her never seeing his perspective.
Okay, I'll give you that, because that is important. At the same time, I understand why he was thinking that was the best decision. Of course. But now that, she's almost 21 or whatever. I mean, at some point, you need to reach out to your daughter now that probably 16, something, and tell her, hey, this is what actually happened.
But that definitely makes sense for a video to go viral.
Yeah.
You leaving your family to go break dance. Bro, that's like, what the hell? That's more allowing why people are like, nigga, what? You left your family to go break dancing?
Yeah.
You can find the comedy in that. It's just like, what the hell is this? You know? But from her perspective, I'm just like, if it's from the daughter's perspective, like, come on. I think you can kind of put two and two together. Like, what sense does this actually make? You know, to leave a family.
People got TikTok brain. They just hear and they be like, whoa, wow. They just believe that.
Yeah.
Like, because everything now is the woman's side, the woman's side, the woman's side. They don't care about the man's side or what happened. I mean, you have people, it's so funny because you hear these things where people are like, you know, there's a different version of me in everyone's brain, right? The way that you perceive me, the way you perceive me, it's different. And there's a version of me on my ex's brain and her entire side of the family that makes me look like a demon that just up and left her, you know, their daughter and that, like, just, which is like, none of that is true. Like, if y'all don't know, y'all to this day, they don't know my side. But is it my job to prove that to them? No. I mean, I don't care. I have my children, and I've never talked bad about her to my children. But when they get older, one day, then I will explain to them what happened and why things happened. But the person that I won't say the person usually is the quietest, is usually right, but at least in my situation it is, and it sounds as though in this situation it is as well, because he should have never given her what he gave her.
Yeah, it's a lot that the guy has to put up with. Like the fact that the judge was a woman and did everything to side with the woman and
Prejudice.
It's just like, bro, like he's giving up so much money, and you like, you know what? You still didn't do it. I need that 100,000.
1.8, and he gave her 1.7. You can put the rest on a payment plan, or you can just say, hey, you know what, Mrs. Breakdancing wife, like, listen, let's just settle for 1.7. Right? There's no reason to just destroy this man. He's already giving you 97%. Like, we're not doing that. Right? Like, your job as a judge is to be fair. So, and then now if his finances change, then it's your job to readjust the divorce. I don't have this money anymore. Why don't you have it? Because she subpoenaed my clients and my clients left me. I don't have the funds anymore. So at that point, what should have happened is now we readjust this 1.8 and we now adjust it based upon where we are now. Even if we don't do that, let's just settle the 1.7 so you don't destroy this man's life. Now you put him in jail, and you can go to jail for 30 days, and that's enough to destroy someone's career.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you don't have because a lot of times when that happens, you don't have time to put stuff in order. You have $1 million business.
Yeah.
You can't set everything up in 30 days and what if he was running it primarily on its own? Or if he had one person, but he really couldn't trust him to run everything. Like, bro, it's crazy, and the judicial system does not care because at the end of the day, if they found him in contempt, she can take him right then and there.
She did,
and no matter what he had happening, he's arrested, and his credit is gone, his house is gone, his money, everything is gone.
Car,
anything that's on auto pay, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's the most bullshit system in the world.
It's crazy because literally he went in to just explain what's going on, and he never left. Like, he didn't expect to never leave. He didn't even know that was on the table.
Right. That's crazy.
You know? Yeah.
And it also speaks to the type of person that woman is.
Oh, my God.
Bro,
because
she need to.
The fact that this was your ex-husband, someone that you decided to have start a family with, you're going to do all this to this person? Like, I don't understand how, like, I understand, like, okay, you disagree, things don't work out. But why go so hard to make someone's life more difficult than it needs to be? Like, can we talk about this?
Bro,
is there anything that we can reasonably come to an agreement on to make sure that, hey, you're taken care of, the child is taken care of, instead of being put into a system where it's making me financially unstable and it's giving you all the benefits. He's the breadwinner in the family, and the one who's the breadwinner has to be the one at the in the palms of your selfishness, and you're doing all of this just because the marriage didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe things. It's just I'm just like, bro, I don't understand how someone can be so vile and so harsh and so cruel to another person that you were in love with if they didn't do anything that was like,
if he wasn't beating her up, abusing her.
If he wasn't beating, because even cheating doesn't. It's not like cheating is just like, okay, he cheated, and so now I'm gonna put him in jail for a year. I'm gonna ruin his life. Like, if he wasn't beating you, if he didn't have you in chains, like.
It's just like, bro, all that stuff is unnecessary, and people use the courts, the police system. They use
weapon.
They use that as a weapon to cause you to make you feel some kind of fear, because they know. In most cases, when it comes to men and women being in court, when it comes to any type of divorce or any type of children, they're always going to side with the woman, even if the man is in the right.
Yeah.
They always are going to side with the women. And women, they use it as a weapon because, hey, I have it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to take advantage of this situation. So it speaks to that person's character, and also speaks to this shitty ass system that we have, because this system, like I wouldn't want to date a girl who would rely on a court system or the judicial system or any type of law to determine what we're going to do within our family if we don't agree.
Right.
Yeah. That should not be the way that you end anything.
The scary part is, though, is that sometimes it may not start that way, but women know that they have that in their back pocket.
Well, that's the you gotta protect yourself going in, man.
Yeah.
You have to assume that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to go in with protection. That's just, I'm sorry. I know I love her. No. Assume that she's going to divorce you, because come on, bro. Like 50-60% of marriages end in divorce.
Yeah, the odds are you will get divorced.
Just assume you're going to get divorced. Just assume. Y'all are in love. You really want to make it work. Just assume you're going to get divorced and go in with protection. I mean, I don't.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's a sucky situation.
That shit hurts my heart, man.
Yeah,
just hearing. I mean, I'm sure there's even.
Oh my god, bro! He did like an hour-long video.
Yeah, going through, listening to that. I mean, because I can. A lot of that hits home for me. Just hearing you explain that legitimately makes.
I left out all the good parts. He met an amazing woman who had real struggles growing up, like real trauma. Escaped her country and came to America. And he has everything he never had with his new wife. So he's very happy, I would assume, right now. He seems to really love and adore his wife. I don't think they have any more children, which probably was wise for both of them. They've been through a lot. But I could say that if, in my opinion, based off of what I've seen, and once again, I've only just begun, it seems like he is happy. So he did have a good, happy ending.
Well, that's good to hear. He has a good attitude. And from the TikTok video that I did see, the way he responded to his daughter was hilarious,